Not financial advice, just for education purposes. We're going to be talking about the Bitcoin cycle and what to expect going forward. So, having a look at from the start, 2009, up to where we are today, we can see several halvings have occurred, which is when the new supply of Bitcoin gets cut in half and the inflation rate of Bitcoin goes down. So, we're going to go to just below 1%. Having a look at the previous halving, so around the end of 2012, around 2016 time, and again in 2020, the price seems to accelerate exponentially after the halving occurs. However, it does kind of wobble around and go sideways, in a crab-like manner, building up to and just after the halving. So we can see that happening here. Then we had a big bull market going up, and again, sort of the price hovered around this area, and then it started to tick up and have its bull market. So right now, if we zoom in, we are approaching the halving. I think we're less than 2 weeks away, and as again you can see, we started to move up and down sort of in this stagnant form, and hopefully if we repeat what history has done previously, it will just be a couple months and then off to a new bull market. So if we look at the next tab I had ready, just wanted to show how the price peaks. So these purple lines here are the previous halvings that we've had in the past cycles for Bitcoin. And you can see the price is red, dot indicates that the halving has just happened and we're sort of 1,400 days away from the next halving. And the sort of the change from blue to red is essentially that halving. So we can see that the price tends to shoot up after this halving happens, and then it comes back down sort of, and the color around the sort of yellowy green area is when it's then time wise is when it tends to top out, and then by the time it gets to sort of true green bluey, we're at the sort of next cycle low, building up to the next bull market. So at the moment we're at the end of the blue, we're about to have the first red dots soon, and this should indicate, if we're following past cycles, the start of the next bull market. We're a fair bit way into it, but we're expecting, if the cycle is to continue like it has done previously, a bull market to follow. There might be a bit of a flat period. As you can see, there's a bit of stagnant around here. There's a bit of stagnancy around here for a few months either side, but generally speaking, it does tend to go up and to the right. So if we look at how we're doing at the moment, and another way we can do it is a 200-week moving average heat map, this is the 200-week, so the price of Bitcoin over the last 200 weeks, and it's averaged out, and we can kind of see how extended we are compared to the average of the last 200 weeks. And we start sort of building up, and then we go up to this really higher points towards the end of the bull market cycle. And at the moment, although we are extended, we're not significantly extended, and we seem to be at similar areas to where we were before the last bull market cycles halvings. And just to check how the Bitcoin network's doing, we can see that the number of addresses that have a non-zero balance in Bitcoin have sort of been going up and to the right exponentially. Likewise, the hash rate has been going up and to the right. It'll be interesting to see how this bounces around at the halving as old machines become less profitable, and we expect the hash rate to go down as less miners will be able to mine and they'll be switched off. But as long as the hash rate is going up, it means more miners are coming to the network. The strength of the actual protocol and the mining equipment that's backing it is increasing. And so as long as we're going up and to the right with this sense, you know that the Bitcoin algorithm and the Bitcoin network is doing well. And if we look at the fear and greed as well, we can see that we are entering a bit of a greedy area for Bitcoin, sort of with the high 90s that are showing sort of previous highs. We can see, it's hard to do on this graph, but we can see we hit a 91 around the tops here. But it does tend to be extended for a long period of time throughout the whole bull market. And as we can see, we're starting to hit those darker greens here, and we have done in the last few months. But this indicator isn't the best for seeing the top, and it tends to, when it starts hitting those greens, it tends to stay at that level for a long time. And finally, just another graph, which if it loads, there we go, just to look at the sort of short-term bubble risk. So where's our price at the moment? Again, this is if I remember correctly, this should be against the 20-week simple moving average, and it's the reds above the level of 2 shows our sort of divergence away from the 20-week simple moving average, and above the level 2 seems to mark sort of local highs. Sort of there's a local high here in between the market cycles, and also the bull market tops sort of marked by that, as you can see in these highs in the last 3 cycles that we've previously seen. At the moment, we're sort of at the 1.5, 1.6 level. While it is extended, we do tend to, so in this cycle here, if we go from the bottom to the top, we tend to see that we do reach this extended period, and then we get some exuberance over the next following months. So I don't think it's overly overheated. I'm still thinking that over the next few months we're going to go sideways. We're going to be a bit choppy up and down. So I think a lot of people are going to get worried and might panic sell. But I think the big bull market is yet to come if we're going to follow sort of the price cycle that's happened over the last few times. And if we're going to stick to this halving cycle that we've been seeing over the last, all over the inception of Bitcoin. Having said that, this is just an educational account. I'm hopefully going to be covering a lot more indicators, some on-chain analysis. I'm going to look at other people's opinions in the space to try and give you guys the best idea of what to expect from Bitcoin and how to navigate this market, and to provide you with the best education, not financial advice. But thank you for listening today.